Did you know that you are supposed to brush your dog's teeth daily to help prevent tartar buildup? Dogs' oral hygiene is similar to ours. We need to maintain it in order for it to stay healthy. As someone that works in the veterinary field, I have seen a lot of cases of bad oral hygiene. Today we will be discussing some of the problems that occur if we don't upkeep with their oral hygiene, as well as the causes and what we are able to do to solve these issues. I have attached an image of a dog's mouth that shows bad tartar buildup. In an article published in 2020, it talks about periodontal disease being one of the most common diseases in dogs over the age of 3, with reported popularity ranging from 80 to 89%. This same article talks about smaller breeds developing periodontal disease earlier compared to larger breed dogs. Another problem is isolating periodontal disease to the oral cavity versus it affecting other diseases such as renal, hepatic, and cardiac. Like it is mentioned in the same article published in 2020. It talks about a study, all studies agreeing, not all agreeing, that there is an association between these. But think about it, if all that bacteria that builds up in the gum line is traveling through your bloodstream, how is it not affecting the other organs? So now let's talk about the causes. One being not brushing your dog's teeth, another one being their breed, as well as the food that they consume, and then some of them having baby teeth that are retained. In an article published in 2020, it states approximately half of the dog owners are in a survey that was evaluated never brushed their dog's teeth, and almost 1/3 brushed them less than once a week or one single occasion only. In an article called Dogs in the Chair, it talks about the typical dental calculus is seen most often in smaller dogs like Schnauzers, Poodles, Bichons. What this intake says that the smaller breeds don't usually tend to use their teeth as much, and sometimes it could be affected by the type of food that they feed them. So some owners may feed them wet food, which intakes them having to use their teeth as much compared to a bigger dog. In this same article, it also mentions about some of the dogs retaining their baby teeth, which that intakes that the crowding of their mouth along their permanent teeth prevents them from being able to use the food that they're crunching to kind of help with the tartar buildup in between that area. So now let's cover some of the solutions that it involves preventative care. The main one is obviously brushing their dog's teeth daily. In an article published in 2020, it indicates in dogs as in humans, daily toothbrushing is considered the gold standard to prevent periodontal disease. In the article published Dogs in the Dental Chair, it talks about the plaque mineralizing in calculus in the next 24 to 48 hours, which intakes brushing daily should be the best option of having to prevent that buildup. Besides brushing, I also want to be talking about some of the dental chews. Like it mentions in an article published in November of 2019, dental chews of variety shapes and sizes with or without anti-calculus agents has demonstrated to be one of the easiest methods of removal. I personally use 2 different types. One is on OroVet and the other one is TD. Let us watch this clip on the OroVet. Just like Dr. Ed Lee had mentioned that these treats help reduce tartar. This is a great way to help your dog prevent a good oral hygiene. Even though they may seem a little bit pricey, like Dr. Ed Lehman mentioned, it will be cheaper than doing a dental procedure. So now let's go ahead and talk about the other treat that I had mentioned, the TD. As it is stated on the Hills website, last updated in 2021, the kibble contains a special matrix of fibers which acts like a toothbrush to scrub the tooth to remove the bacteria, which is another good option. Lastly, let us go back and talk about what owners seem to dread the most, which is a little bit of expensive, which is kind of typical for someone to be a little bit more decisive of doing. In an article published in November 2019, the removal of tartar with mechanical brushing, which intakes a dental procedure that will remove your dog's tartar as they get older. Sometimes even with all these preventatives, at the end of the day, as they get older, they are going to have to require a dental. Just like us, if we don't our dental hygiene is good, we are going to need a deep cleaning. If you avoid all these previous solutions, and in the end, it's going to be to the point where you will have to do the dental. Now that we discussed the problem causes and solutions of tartar buildup, it is time to decide what type of owner you want to be. Owner A would be brushing daily and giving some oral treats, and owner B would be spending hundreds of dollars on doing a dental procedure. Which owner will you be?